Here we go. That's one of my favorite Uncle texts. This is the only text box.
Oh, we got our bombs right away, so that'll help out at the end of escape.
Yep, no bomb trolls this seed. We'll have a sword, so we won't have to worry about wasting ammunition when we're fighting our way through escape. I think that was I think that was 3 Light World crystals right off the bat. Our trackers today are Merc 249 and D2 Chems. They will let us know for sure.
Yeah, I saw 3 crystals. The desert being a 5/6.
Pretty nice. Those Light World dungeons, you know, they've got less requirements. We got Swagnet in the Uncle passageway.
Clearly, this is an Agassiz.
Absolutely.
Interesting to see the various sprites all the players use. DKS using the classic link, or rather the default link. Beta Revarus using the classic link from NES.
Yep, Cransoon is of course Squirtle, and I think is that the Garfield sprite on Mekon?
I do believe so. So we get our red boomerang. A lot of players don't like that one.
Yeah, it little sparklies cause some lag, so if runners have the choice, a lot of them will opt for the blue boomerang. There are some runners who take that lag avoidance very seriously and will actually opt for regular arrows in some situations over silvers.
See Cransoon actually making use of that boomerang right away using NMG strats essentially.
Absolutely. That throw that boomerang across the room and walk out with the key like that. That is textbook NMG. You'd normally get the blue boomerang in that very chest in NMG.
Varying strats against the guard here. Mekon and Cransoon just ran up with a sword. I don't think Cransoon even grabbed a pot.
Yeah, Cransoon did without the pot strats there. 8 slashes on that guard, and then I'm not sure if he did it, but you'll toss the boomerang so you can pick up that key nice and quick. That's the usual NMG strat for that room. To explain a little bit to chat, unfortunately, we're not going to have forced Swagnet for AGA 1. The only time you'll get actually a forced net fight is in swordless mode, because you need a sword to get to AGA 1 because of the curtain on the way there. So if you want to see Swagnet AGA 1 possibilities, I think, let me check the schedule. We might have a swordless daily race coming up.
I think there's one tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, look at that. Standard swordless, 9 p.m. tomorrow. So if you want to see the chance of Swagnet Aghanim being required, then tune back in about 24 hours. You'll see a swordless race there.
Usually the part getting into the sewers here, players will try to farm a bomb, but first chest in Link's house, got rid of that.
Yep, so we'll get to see our runners make their way through. Cransoon with some nice enemy RNG there, just walks right up the middle. DKS 89, about the same.
Is the enemy RNG fixed?
The enemy RNG, I do not believe, is fixed between the runners. The boss RNG, I think, is, especially things like Aghanim Balls, Ganon Warps. We did get the Moon Pearl there and Escape, so that's that's part of that Dark World puzzle that we've already gotten under our belts.
Yes, so in standard mode, so this is what is somewhat known as casual mode, where you get the sword from the uncle. In the new standard mode, you get some sort of weapon that is able to kill enemies from the uncle. It can be a sword. You can also get a hammer, bombs, the bow, Cane of Samaria, fire rod.
Yeah, also Cane of Burner, yep.
Also Cane of Burner, yes. Can't be the ice rod. That's the blue one, it can't be.
So Cransoon is going to be our first runner out of Escape, coming in at 5:52, which is a phenomenal time, especially considering the detour to grab the items from the back.
Alright,
So-
I imagine we're going to have pretty much all 4 of our players going over to Kakariko pretty immediately.
Yep, DKS has given us a check in the direction of the Lumberjack. We'll probably see some tree pulls on the way to see what sorts of items we can get for free there. Just some recovery hearts from that tree pull there. Cransoon doing the same thing here in the woods, skipping the Lumberjack check, as is Mikan. We get the wavy coin there at the mushroom spot.
The Quake Medallion can be used to possibly needed to enter one of the 2 last dungeons in the game, Misery Mire and Turtle Rock.
Yep. And I believe the Lumberjack ledge there is, yeah, it's just a big 20. We got a nicer look at it on Sir Beater's screen.
The drop down has the blue boomerang, which all of our players so far has picked it up because it's better than the red one.
Yep. So our runners who skip the Lumberjack are 2 on top. A lot of runners will leave that check until they find the boots, because you can't get that item without the boots anyway. And some runners prefer to know right away.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of people checking it when they make a Northern Dark World check, just mirror over and walk up there and check.
Yeah, when they head to the Northern Dark World, or perhaps the first time they climb up Death Mountain if they're taking the path there. But Cransoon, with a bit of a lead, is going to be showing us the items here in the basement of Blinds. Just rupees so far. Oh!
The boots!
And the boots! Alrighty then. Early boots. Gotta go fast.
You can still see Cransoon picking up as much money as he can. Possibly going to make a early Zora check. He has the Moon Pearl.
Yep, the Moon Pearl will make the sequence break to Zora a little more beneficial. At this point, you'd have to do a fake flipper sequence break to get there, but with the Moon Pearl, you can glitch your way into the waterfall cave, get some water walking done, and get 2 more items for your trouble. Yeah, and we've got Zora money now. We've picked up 2 of those 300s at this point.
A healthy wealth.
Wow, and we got
another 300.
So that's all the money we're gonna need. We got Zora, we got pod money, we've got the little mini games.
Bottle vendor with a lamp.
That's a pretty good deal.
A lot of the top runners don't really need the lamp for the vision that it gives, but there are a couple places that you gain access to with just having a fire source.
Yep, at this point, without the fire rod, that lamp is our fire source. We know we'll need a fire source to complete Desert. We might need a fire source to complete Hera. We know those are both crystals.
Everybody's running out of bombs and having to go down to the bomb shop.
Yeah, no bombs other than those first 3 in the Link's house, so we're buying some bombs. Cransoon picked up the blue mail there in the chicken hut. Mikan will be getting the blue mail shortly. Great item to find early in the game. Ooh, that's another great item to find. That is the bow in the back of the tavern.
Yep, and the bow giving us access to complete Eastern, as well as having the lantern. I imagine some of our runners may even skip the Southern check and just go straight over to Eastern at this point.
Yeah, with the bow and the lantern, Eastern is completely clearable and will be completely in logic during that clear. Oh!
Oh!
Cransoon sees the Master Sword there on the race game and is definitely going to be picking that up. I always love the expressiveness you get to see in the runners when they pause for half a second, when they look at something and they're like, "Wait a minute, I think I want that." Or when they open a chest, they turn around and stare at the screen for half a second before saving and quitting, those sorts of things. It's impressive how much expression comes through in this game.
I'm a fan of the players who will deliberately like pull out Bombo's Battalion and use it.
Yep, so Cransoon gets that Master Sword. Mikan gonna do exactly the same.
Where does he go from here? Still gonna make the Southern check.
Yeah, there's a lot of items here. You'll be able to, with those boots especially, you can dash around, make these checks real quick. Another thing that might be playing on their heads, it's a bit early at this point, but with Master Sword and Lamp, we can kill Aghanim.
That is true. Maybe he wants to get the Zora check out of the way, just so he can know whether or not after Easter.
Yeah. At this point, you're thinking, let's find something to avoid Aghanim. And Mikan is, instead of doing the South check, is going to be giving us a Bonk Rocks check. That's something our other runners haven't done. It is only a 5-bomb upgrade, though.
Canis Samaria, the dam.
Yeah, look at that. These Sphere 1 locations accessible right from the beginning of the game, they're really loaded this seed. We see Mikan doing exactly what I mentioned, these runners who will hold off on the Lumberjack check until such time as they have the boots.
Yeah, he probably realized, hey, I can kill Aghanim. And I have the boots. So now that check is just off of his mind.
Well, Cransoon just got the Power Glove, so that diminishes the chance of Aghanim for Dark World access.
And all we need now is a hammer. Or another glove.
Yeah, and Sir Beater just got... I saw the book there in the back of Sahasrara. I only caught the third chest, so I'll have to watch on Mikan's screen right now what those 3 items were. Alright, so the book was the only thing of importance in Sahasrara, and Cransoon has given us an Ice Rod Cave check.
Yeah, and that's complete desert access now, too.
Yep, we got a glove, we got a book, we got fire.
Yep.
We found another stack of 300 rupees there in the Ice Rod Cave. For those of you who are wondering, the game does not consider rupees as part of the logic, so when you have a lot of money, you think to yourself, I'd like to go to Zora, but the game doesn't consider the rupee drops as a prerequisite for Zora.
Cranston did not actually make that play up there, so probably considering there's so much open to him right now.
Yeah, at this point with the glove, Zora itself is not a sequence break. Oh, we got a green pendant from Ice Palace. Cransoon's given us a little chat there with the Sahasrara. Yeah, at this point, Zora himself would be in logic since we have a glove, but the Waterfall Cave you'd sequence break, the actual Zora ledge item you'd see it be a sequence break.
I wasn't watching the left side. I don't... What was... Do you know see what's in the first chest of Eastern?
I didn't see. I think I was looking at it and then completely forgot, which suggests it's probably not that important. Well, Cransoon will give us a look real soon here. Yeah,
Nice,
it wasn't
that's a
important.
Map, compass, and big key so far. Everything else is an item.
Yep, so we'll see our first of 3 Eastern Palace items here. It's a bow-related item. It's not the bow, of course. The bow would be in that chest in the vanilla game.
Looking at it, if we had a mirror at this point, we'd have access to all 3 of the Light World dungeons being completed.
That is true. We do have logical access. Oh,
There's
Mikan
the
just.
glove.
That's another glove. So
That's Dark World access.
that's Dark World access. None of our runners will have Dark World access at this point. Mikan did not get the glove from. That was in Mini Moldorm Cave. Yeah, Aga's not quite dead yet. We still could need Aga logically for access to the east side of Dark World, though with the boots our runners can pull off a water walk to get there. And we still could need Aga for the hammer if the hammer is locked behind the waterfall. The Pyramid Fairy, rather. If the hammer is at the Pyramid Fairy or is locked behind the items we get there.
I have actually seen that once where Aga had to be killed just to get the bomb to the pyramid and hammer was inside.
Oh, Mikan trying to pull off the quick kill NMG strat, but a couple of those Armos Knights get in the way.
Half magic.
Yeah, not a bad thing. When you're hunting for progression, it's not the sort of thing you're going to turn down if it shows up early in the game. Sir Beater also letting a couple of those Armos get away in the process of the quick kill. To answer a question in chat, if you need to get the bomb to the pyramid without the hammer, you have to kill Aga 1 and then take the bomb into the light world and pass through the Dark World portal at the castle gate.
So Mikan's gonna be picking up his second glove upgrade.
Ooh, Kransoon just gets tapped by the last Armos Knight and it gets away from him. When that last knight turns red, it actually restores all of its health, so you have to put 3 fresh arrows into it. So at present, none of our runners have pulled off the perfect quick kill on Armos. We'll see if DKS89 can do that.
Kransoon is starting his sanctuary. I have to wonder if he's going to go up the mountain at this point.
He's heading east, so he's going to check the King's Tomb. There we go. DKS89 is the only one of our featured runners to pull off the Armos Knight's quick kill. Not that any of our runners really spent an excessive amount of time on that boss.
So Sir Beater of Ars is actually making the desert play.
Yep. It's a crystal dungeon. It's not only a crystal dungeon, it's one of our special crystal dungeons, our 5, 6... Oh!
There's there.
There it is. You called it, Cyclone. We're going to get a mirror, and that'll give us access to all of the all of the Light World dungeons.
Kransoon's making the lumberjack check. I would imagine he's going to go up the mountain after this.
Yep.
Which you... Oh no, he's gonna save and quit. Okay. He probably also has a desert on the mind.
So, Sir Beater has just learned that desert is Boots' luck, but that's not going to be a problem for us. We got the boots nice and early in Blind's hut.
Now, we have a lot of items, but we're progressing through this game rather vanilla.
Yep, our runners do have the option of going into Dark World, but they've got all 3 Light World dungeons, crystals, and clearable at this point.
DKS might actually be going to the Dark World right now.
Well, that'll be some nice divergence. Sir Beater got the first item in Desert. It was a red rupee, and of course has to get the big key here. We've got DK in the Dark World. Pod is a pendant, and Ice is the green pendant, we knew that. Thieves Town is a red pendant, and the other red crystal is at Swamp Palace. You see, I like that. A nice long map check gives us as commentators the chance to see it. We don't have to take screenshots or pause the video or anything like that. Some of these runners, they have very quick eyes. They spend half a second doing a map check.
I like to imagine that they just get to the important things and then everything else is just going to be a crystal.
Yeah, that's what I try and do. I'm not great. Our runners have found the other item in Desert, which is just an arrow upgrade. So the real prize here in Desert is going to be, number 1, the mirror on the Desert Ledge, and number 2, one of our Pyramid Fairy crystals. But the items themselves, not important.
I didn't actually get to see what was the first chest in Skull Woods. He has the big key at this point, though, so we can make that check before moving on to the rest of the dungeon.
Yep, and if necessary, the Cane of Samaria will make that check of the room in the back a little easier.
Get the bomb jump over to the big key, or the big chest. It was a little weird. I actually used the shield as a visual guide for that bomb jump, but a lot of the times you get there without a shield.
Yeah, I like to use Link's hand. It's like something like a 2x2 pixel block. If I line that up on the edge of the pit, it works out for me. I'm also fond of the spin strat to line up the bomb jumps, where you charge a spin attack, get yourself partially over the pit, and release while holding backwards. You don't release the spin until you're on solid ground, so it lines you up exactly on the right pixel.
And just a map in Skullwood, so without the fire rod, that's all the checks we have here.
Mikan and Sir Beater showing us some more NMG strats using arrows on Landmo. Master Sword slashes actually do the same amount of damage as Fighter Sword slashes, so if you're going to use the Master Sword, you're going to want to use spins. And that's what our runners have switched to. Sir Beater and Mikan with a couple of seconds of Crystal Sync, holding them aloft at the same time.
DK is making a Northern Dark World check. It doesn't have the mirror, so we can't check the Graveyard Ledge. I guess there's actually nothing in the Northern Dark World we can check.
DKS 89 is showing us a nice water walk. He must have set that up on the way out of Skullwoods. I didn't catch that. You have to dash over the pit, and then you can jump straight down into the water and get a water walk there. So DKS skipping out on the flippers and the hammer, which are normally needed to access flippers, or the hammer, I suppose, which you'd normally need to access this part of the Dark World from the left side.
Alright, so where are all our desert players going to be going after this? Makon's making the King's Tomb check. Sir Peter of ours... Oh, did he never actually make the mini Moldorm check?
Yeah, I have to imagine he hasn't. He's only got the first glove.
So starting from Sanctuary, so he's probably either going to the Dark World or up the mountain.
Yeah, having gotten the mirror from Desert, up the mountain. Yeah, up the mountain. We're going to be seeing Tower of Hera.
Quite a bit of divergence going on at this point.
Yep.
DKS did a water rock, yes.
Ooh. The old man gave Cransoon the hammer.
Oh, man. And that's a good time to get it for him, too.
Yep, because after Hera, Cransoon will be able to head to the east side of Death Mountain, has the Titan Smith, so can do the Dark Death Mountain. Doesn't have...
missing is a hook shot.
Yeah, does not have the hook shot. I think Cransoon's practice hovering, I'm not sure. Maybe we'll see a hookshot cave hover. No guarantees.
Alright, so Sir Peter of ours is actually doing the water walk, so we're probably getting the Zora check here.
Yep, Sir Beater doing the water walk here in the Light World is going to be heading all the way up to Hobo first.
Hobo giving a little piece of love.
Yep, and Cransoon at the Ether Tablet just got a 5 rupee piece. I love that. I love the raft for the Zelda 1 Link. I think that's a great sprite for swimming. Alright, so at this point, our runners are in 3 different dungeons and sequence breaking the overworld all at the same time. That's what's going on in this race.
And the only one of these we've seen so far is Skull Woods, too, so...
Did you catch if that waterfall cave had anything good?
I did not. I believe it was an arrow upgrade and rupees or something like that.
Yep, and the Zora ledge is just 5 rupees. Our runners, since they seem to know their water walks, could actually get that item with a combination of a water walk and a fake flipper. But we won't see that this seed.
A bottle from Zora.
Yeah, given that that's our first bottle, I would not call that a scam. That opens up the sick kid. And we have a bug net if we want to do things like put fairies in them.
And DKS not having the hammer in Palace of Darkness, Death warps back to the beginning of the dungeon from the bow side.
Yep, does not have the hammer, does not have the mirror, which was on the desert ledge.
Cransoon finishing up Tower of Hera. I haven't seen what items he's gotten thus far. Fire Rod!
We saw that one. Look at that. Fire Rod from Tower of Hera.
Turtle Rock is Quake. He could go into Turtle Rock. Probably won't without the Ice Rod, but...
Yeah, that is certainly true.
There must be an item in the basement if he's going back in.
Yeah. I have to imagine that this trip back into Hera is for a purpose. Cransoon may or may not like coffee, but nobody's going to take a coffee break just for the heck of it here.
Hammer was on the old man. Up, and Mikan getting the bottle of his own.
Yep. Yeah, you'll see the hammer right here on Sir Beater's screen.
I imagine Mikan will probably mirror over and turn that bottle in. So in Path of Darkness, we have a heart container. Hook shot!
Nice. Sick Kid, not paying much attention to his health, has decided to tear off a piece of his heart and give it to us. I can't imagine that that is very good for one's convalescence. So all of our runners are diverging, and there's a lot of value to be found all over the world. Like, DKS-89 would be well served by if he had the mirror from the desert area. Cransoon would really like that hook shot before heading into Dark Death Mountain.
That is true, but he also has the advantage of getting the hammer from up here, which will make Path of Darkness much easier for him. Well, completable.
Yeah.
But it is a pendant, so it probably doesn't even matter.
Bunch of digs at the digging game for a full heart. Mikan is going to head back up, and we'll be, in all likelihood, picking up our froggy friend.
Cranston leaving a mirror spot right outside of the Paradox gate.
Yep, we'll save a couple of seconds making his way back and forth through the light and dark worlds here. He also used the mirror to cancel that block there. In this version of the game that the randomizer is based on, if you use the mirror while a block is in motion, the block will disappear.
Yep, and for all intents and purposes, blocks simply don't exist when you're pushing them, so you can do other tricks like shoot a hookshot through it.
Yep. We would recommend that you try not to use the mirror cancel in a dungeon. Probably a bad idea.
So Paradox Cave had nothing.
Yeah, we've already gotten so much that, you know, we're going to start drying out real soon in terms of the items we're getting.
DKS making his way over to East Death Mountain as well. He doesn't have the mirror because he still hasn't been over to the desert, but we'll be able to make all of these checks. And with the hammer, still be able to make it the Tower of Hera as well.
Yep. Cransoon got a shovel in Super Bunny Cave, and Mikan got an ether medallion from Stumpy.
Let's see what Turtle Rock has for us.
Turtle Rock, please. Quake.
He could absolutely go inside.
Yeah, Cransoon can do everything in Turtle Rock except kill the boss without the ice rod. So with these bongs, Cransoon is accessing a chest that is in logic.
Oh, are we getting the hover?
Nice. There's one.
For a cape.
Yeah, that's our...
I don't think anybody's checked Bumper Cave Ledge yet.
Yeah, and that's our first invincibility item too, so Cransoon can head over into Spike Cave. Ooh, and Bombos!
Bombos. Aww.
Yeah, I think with 2 successes, you gotta go for the next one.
Luckily, only needs the one more. You don't have to go all the way back around. It gives up after 2 fall.
But 2 items that Cransoon has hovered to that might be of great significance.
And he is indeed going over to Spike Cave.
Yep. We know those items aren't out of logic, since we know that the hookshot is accessible at this point, but it will save Cransoon a trip back up here if those items turn out to be necessary.
Yeah, that hype cave had, I think like 11 rupees and a heart piece. And I believe it's time for Cransoon to finally get into the Dark World. Other than the Death Mountain check.
Yep. Cransoon has done all 3 Light World dungeons before setting foot in the Dark World, and it looks like our other run, Sir Beater is going to be doing the same, Mikan is going to be doing the same. It's only DKS89 who's made extensive Dark World checks at this point. I think some of our other runners have been in the Dark World. This is the first time I've ever commentated a quad, and of course our runners have decided to just go every which way to make it even more difficult. Cransoon with the Fire Rod will be the first of our runners with the ability to complete Skullwoods. Several of our runners have already been here.
Yeah, his routing has just been made, so everything he steps foot into he can just do. He had... Let's see, what do we get? We had the bow pretty early, go over to Eastern. Which also gave us the gloves from his hospital. Or, what were the gloves?
One of the gloves was in the Big Key location in Eastern.
Yes.
So Hosphala had the book for us, which had our desert access.
Right, that gave us desert access.
And Desert gave us the mirror.
The mirror. Yep. And then Hera gave us the Fire Rod.
Yep.
I wasn't paying that close attention. I think he skipped the front of Skullwoods for now.
Yep.
Just to see what he gets from the back.
Yeah, you gotta come back here and kill the moth anyway, so...
And he might mirror over and check Pedestal after he's done with this.
That is certainly something he can do.
What do we not have that could be on Pedestal? Ice Rod?
Yeah, Ice Rod could be on Pedestal. Flute could be on Pedestal.
Little blue goo from the moth. I guess it's those 2 items, huh?
Yeah, that's just about it. We need the flippers, but it can't be those because Ice Palace is a pendant.
I didn't see what happened, but Mikan just fell 2 floors.
Yeah, that would have been probably a failed bomb jump to the big chest. Well, we are going to see that pedestal check.
Oh no! Oh no!
Well, there you have it!
You were saying something about Ice Rod Troll item?
Ice Rod Troll item. You know, The one redeeming feature of that is we know where the ice rod is.
Yeah.
That's the only redeeming feature of that's the sort of troll that I can get behind. Like, if the game is just like run more dungeons and get you rewarded for it, fine. The real ice rod troll is like it's in one of like 50 places and I don't know where it is. We know where it is. It's on the pedestal. Ice rod on the pedestal. Pedestal seed, everybody. And Cransoon knows it. Cransoon is the first of our runners to learn the news.
Just a big 20 on the Bumper Cave ledge. Sir Peter of Ours is opening up Turtle Rock. I hope he doesn't go in at this point. Unless, of course, like, the flippers are in there.
Yep.
So what is here? What are the pendants? Thieves Down, Ice Palace, House of Darkness. So they have everything they need to complete those dungeons.
Yeah, even without the flippers, our runners can do a fake flipper into ice if they want to accelerate the acquisition of the ice rod. So DKS is heading into Hookshot Cave with a hookshot. Cransoon has cleared out all but one of the chests in here through the use of hovering and other illicit magic.
Right, so let's see what that last chest in Hookshot Cave is. Just fine.
Yep, so Cransoon managed to skip out on the one chest in that cave that is not all that interesting. So, Cransoon is here in Pendant Thieves Town, although at this point, Pendant Dungeon's definitely required.
And Sir Peter of Ours did go into Turtle Rock. This is going to cost him a bit of time.
Yeah, what would be nice here in Turtle Rock? I suppose the only things we need that we don't know where they are the flippers and the flute, so if Sir Peter could find one of those, it would at least pay off a little bit.
Yeah.
And Sir Peter has remembered that without the hookshot, you have to take the long way through this room. Without the hookshot, Sir Peter also can't do the damage negation.
Cransoon got that magic pixel in the hallway.
Nice.
But then was stopped by, whatever those monsters are called.
The game just will not let you have your fun.
I haven't seen everything Cransoon's picked up thus far. I don't know if
I haven't.
the chest is going to be required. Either way, he has the hammer, so it's not really an issue. But
Yeah, we need the small key in the maiden cell in the basement for that to be the case.
KS going into his moth fight. Cransoon?
Cransoon must have found all 4 items at this point, if he's leaving.
Yeah,
that.
I guess map, compass, and key are all that's left.
Yeah. Cransoon is definitely a skilled enough player that I am highly doubtful he'd be miscounting his items.
Recon also going into Turtle Rock.
Yep, chat's pointing out that DKS is not in a good position to check the pedestal because they don't have the mirror.
Oh no. Yeah, at this point, Cransoon's still the only one with that knowledge, which is probably why we see both Recon and Beater of Arse in Turtle Rock. Get another. Oh yeah, we already saw that battle from the chess game from Recon, I think.
Yep.
Oh, there's a nice tempered sword there in Mimic Cave.
You know, if you're going to be devoting the time to Turtle Rock without knowing that you'll have to come back, you know, if at least you can pull an item like that out of it, it makes you feel somewhat better.
So it'll be interesting if Cransoon, for instance, is in go mode by the time he gets to Turtle Rock.
Yeah.
He won't pick up that sword.
That's true. Sir Beater got a mushroom there in Turtle Rock. And that mushroom, if Sir Beater will pull off the fake powder glitch, that mushroom will give Sir Beater access to 2 items. So the game is going to let us go all the way to Laser Bridge. Well, we knew that. We knew that already. It's the lack of Fire Rod that can get you different places in or out. That's right.
And if only DKS had made that desert check earlier.
Yeah, that's the real thing holding DKS back from progress, because DKS would know the pedestal at this point, in all likelihood, if they had that mirror.
There's the flippers.
Wow. All right.
No, wait a minute.
And
Somebody... Oh, they must have done blacksmith earlier without the hammer.
yeah, I have to imagine whoever did the blacksmith first did... Oh, so we're not going to be seeing the fake powder because Sir Beater just got the real powder there on Laser Bridge. So Cransoon is going to be getting the flippers right here.
Yeah, and he'll be able to stop by Swamp Palace on his way down there at this point. He can just go all the way around the Dark World, clear every single dungeon. But DKS, for instance, without that mirror, can't even step inside.
Yeah, so everything seems to be coming up Cransoon's way this seed. Mekon picking up their tempered sword. Sir Beater having a little bit of... Ooh!
Gold sword!
Gold sword. So, we knew
that
this...
will help both of those players up.
Absolutely. We knew this Turtle Rock trip wasn't going to be completable. We know where the ice rod is. It's on the pedestal. But with 2 swords, that's if you're going to be double dipping a dungeon, double dipping and getting 2 sword upgrades out of it is, you know, if I'm going to be double dipping a dungeon, that's a deal I'd take.
And with the location of that sword as well, Cransoon might also not get that one.
Yep. Yeah, the key on Laser Bridge is in the very first chest we see there. So if Cransoon does the laser skip and gets that key right away while in go mode. So we had 3 fetch quests from Death Mountain. We got a shovel, we got mushroom, and we got powder, all from Dark Death Mountain. Is this our first look at Hype Cave?
It is not.
It's not. Okay.
Hype Cave is pretty garbage.
You know, I didn't even notice it. You reach a point in your rando career where you just sort of tune out Hype Cave because it looks like that more often than not.
Yeah. Talwin in chat asking about the Cransoon sword situation. If he is in go mode by the time he hits Total Rock, there is a very, very high chance he will stick with Master Sword.
Yep.
Unless he does reverse Laser Bridge. That's about the only way.
Yeah, and Cransoon is certainly skilled enough that Master Sword Silverless is not going to scare him, but it is a drag to have to do that. So at this point, we're just waiting on Flute. That's the one item we need to know where it is to really put the rest of the seed together. We know there's a lot of...
I just realized Cransoon can't do Swamp because he hasn't been to Pod yet. He don't have the hookshot.
That is correct, yes. And I have to imagine Cransoon's not going to be dipping Swamp without the hookshot when there's so much left on the table. Bombos Tablet gives us 10 bomb capacity upgrade.
So we got 2 players in Skullwoods right now. DKS making the Zora check with a Dwarf in tow.
Yeah, it is not often that you see this level of Dwarf World Tour, taking the Dwarf to the exotic far reaches of Zora's domain.
And Cransoon may be also going up to Zora as well. He's making the hobo check right now. There's either that or Ice Palace.
Yep.
Or save and quit. He can do any number of things.
Mikan on the way to Mothula right now might be the second of our Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's terrible. That is an unfortunate glitch that's unique to this version of the game, the Japanese 1.0 version, in which you're still vulnerable while you're falling down pits, so you can take damage, you can die, and you can get grabbed by the Wall Masters. That's a real shame. So what I was about to say is Mikan is probably going to be the second of our featured runners to learn the truth about the pedestal, but Sir Beater has just edged slightly ahead of Mikan in this dungeon.
Looks like the Blacksmith World Tour is coming to an end.
Yep. Both Sir Beater and Mikan have taken out Mothula. A useful thing to note is one of the very few glitches the randomizer developers fixed is the Gold Sword does do damage to Mothula in Randomizer. In the vanilla game, you can't slash Mothula with the Gold Sword in the Japanese 1.0 version.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, the developers wanted to make Mothula immune to the spikes, and so they just zeroed out that damage class, but the spike damage class is the same as the gold sword damage class, so if you just slash, you don't do damage to Mothula. You can poke Mothula with the gold sword. That does work. In the vanilla game. In Rando, the gold sword just behaves like the tempered sword in that room specifically.
Interesting. Alright, now 3 of our players are now aware of the ice rod on pedestal, and DKS finally gaining the knowledge about the mirror.
Yep. Meanwhile, Kransoon showing off a nice combination of Ice Palace bomb jump, a hammer dash, a bonk. Very nice work through that bomb jump room.
Kransoon finding a key and decides to go back upstairs. That'll make everything a lot faster.
Yep. Kransoon actually has a pretty good tutorial on Ice Palace routing on YouTube, so if you head over to Kransoon's YouTube channel, you can actually take a look at that.
Quick question in chat, who knows about the ice rod? Everyone except DKS knows about the ice rod. And Bombos was... Where was Bombos?
Bombos was in the hookshot cave, but it was locked behind the hookshot, and Kransoon got it with a hover on his first visit there. We still don't know if that Bombos is required, because we don't have the flute. We haven't seen the medallion on Misery Mire. Kransoon, without the hookshot, is going to be taking the vanilla route through the floor to the big chest. Used a reverse bomb jump to cross that room right to left. If you have the hookshot, you can fall down that hole and use the hookshot to clip through those blocks. As Cyclone mentioned earlier, the game doesn't seem to think that blocks exist when they're in motion.
I haven't been counting his items. I don't know how many Kransoon's got in Ice Palace thus far.
I haven't been counting either. Really, at this point, it's just the flute. I look on the tracker. If the flute's not there, that means we're still looking.
I mean, God's making all of those checks in Thieves Town that Kransoon skipped for this key, his map, and his compass.
Yep, so just a couple of extra seconds that Mikan is given up. Cold Stare did have an item, but it was just a red rupee. But Cold Stare effectively had 2 items, because Kransoon is going to be heading into the pod area, I have to imagine. Turning in that green pendant and finishing up pod, getting the hookshot in the process.
fairly clean fight from Mekon. It looks like DKS having the flippers, having the hammer, having the hook shot is going to make his play down to Swamp Palace.
Yep.
And that will also give him, once he completes it, both 5-6 crystals and in a good spot to make a pyramid check afterward.
That is true. DKS does not have the knowledge of the pedestal ice rod, the only one of our 4 featured runners who doesn't know that yet.
Sahasula having the red mail.
Nice. Not going to turn that down, but, you know, a runner like Kransoon with blue mail and 14 hearts doesn't need that red mail.
Yeah, but now I got a sweet red shell on his back.
No, heart piece. So that powder is going to come in handy more as a safety item than a logic item. We only got a heart piece there from the Batman, so... But we have the net, we have a couple of bottles, so if our runners feel like it, they can, you know, find some fairies, bottle them up, use that powder.
Serbian Reverse going into his blind fight.
Yep, this is the one boss fight that gold sword is not going to be helping out too much with.
9 hits no matter what weapon you're using against him.
Yep, Sir Beater slightly off of the usual script that our runners try and stick to get this fight done. Still, no real reason to be worried.
Makes it do just fine. Catfish was checked by DKS, I think.
Yeah, and DKS actually just found the last piece of the puzzle. In the south part of Swamp, DKS picked up the flute.
That actually just helps Kransoon even more.
Yeah.
Because he'll be able to skip left side Swamp.
That is true. So now we as commentators, we know everything. We know how this seed looks. We just have to wait for our runners to put it together. And indeed, Kransoon is the closest. We'll pick up the flute from the south part of Swamp and be in go mode at that point in all likelihood.
I'm wondering if he'll go immediately to Swamp, because he'll have the medallions at that point.
Yeah, he'll have the medallions, he'll have the hook shot. It is, as far as items go, it is the most dense place, plus Kransoon will know that it's the Pyramid Fairy Crystal. Kransoon can give us a hammer yump first. There it is.
So what do we have? Left side Swamp. A big key. And a heart. Well, at least he won't have to go back in after getting a big key from, like, the boss or something.
That's true. So, here's Hookshot for Kransoon. Sir Beater is on the way to getting their pair of flippers.
I've got to wonder, we've made all these checks and we've still not seen the silver arrows.
Nope. We've seen both males, we've seen all 4 swords, but the silvers are still MIA.
I believe we've even seen 2 shields.
Yep, Sir Beater has 2 shields.
DKS doing the double hook shot sword spin stretch with the Master Sword.
So DKS will be our first runner to finish up Argus, while Kransoon is our first runner to start in on Helmut Sword King. Nice Helmosaur fight there from Kransoon. Argus fight done on DKS screen.
That makes 3 of the pendants for Kransoon. He is able to get his ice rod now. And with him starting Sanctuary, I can imagine no other place he's going other than to get his ice rod.
Yep.
And at 1 hour and 8 minutes, the bird is loose.
So I have to wonder if DKS is going to be taking that bird and checking the mire area right now. Mire is full clearable for DKS.
Yep, and having, well, I would say having the knowledge of the medallion would be useful, but he has all 3, so...
Yep. And DKS is heading into the portal from the bottom side, which means that that's a setup for the spooky action glitch. So there's the pedestal pull and the ice rod for Kransoon.
Kransoon's going up the mountain.
Yeah, Kransoon has not been in Turtle Rock. There are 5 items in Turtle Rock plus the Mimic Cave, so Kransoon is thinking maybe the flute is in here. There's not a big time difference between Go Mode Turtle Rock and Flow Clear Turtle Rock, so I can understand this play.
Yeah.
Mire ended up being Bombos, it looks like.
Yeah, that is the medallion DKS has out. So yeah, it's not a bad play for Kransoon as well. It just means he has to climb the mountain twice as opposed to once. And there's no way he could know.
Absolutely. Yes, DKS still does not know that the ice rod is sitting on the pedestal. He left the mirror sitting on the desert ledge for quite a while, and so did not have the mirror to do a ped check at that time. And Cransoon remembered the one chest that he left behind and got the blue rupee from it there in Hookshot Cave. DKS is giving us our first look into Meyer. Got an item right off the bat there, and it's going to be going straight to Vitreous.
Oh yeah, Godmire. I guess he's just hoping the second item is in the back.
Yeah. Yeah, and chat is pointing out that we can feel good for Cransoon. Cransoon's going to be picking up, in all likelihood, both swords here. Can't imagine why he wouldn't be getting both of them. A little bit of extra time invested with the climb, but especially going from Mastered to Tempered is a big jump in power.
Not to mention the gold sword.
Yep.
No, there's not a whole heck of a lot he has left to do where that'll matter.
Yeah, the big difference between Master Sword and Gold Sword is going to be in the Ganon fight. Especially if it ends up being silverless. Those silvers are still missing.
Everything we've checked, there's one item left in Meyer, and other than that, it's pretty much going to be in Ganon's Tower. I don't think if there's anything else we haven't seen yet.
Pyramid Fairy. DKS89 could check Pyramid Fairy. DKS puts 8 arrows into Vitreous and takes down the eyeball.
Alex just stopped looking for a second to see if he dropped an item.
Yeah, Vitreous.
Because he's going back in.
Yeah, Vitreous was a small key.
Is the Squirrel Bites Bunny Sprite just Squirtle with shades?
Maybe. That sounds good.
It was on screen for like a frame. Ganon going into Swamp Palace will be getting his flute.
Yep. And
that will put him in go mode. Other than the Ice Rod.
No, he'll need to get Bombos.
Oh, you're right. I forgot about Bombos.
He doesn't know that yet, because I don't think he's been to Dark Death Mountain.
Well,
oh no,
he has been to Dark Death Mountain. But he
didn't have
shot.
That's right, yeah. And he doesn't know that Bombos is required because he hasn't been to Meyer. That's I've gotten my wires crossed. He doesn't know know where Bombos is or that it's required.
That's pretty rough for him.
So there's another sword upgrade for Cransoon. The second sword upgrade that Cransoon is on track for getting is on Laser Bridge. Gransoon will also get the powder and the mushroom, so that could throw him off for a little while.
I imagine he'll go to Swamp Palace after this.
Yeah, if he made the trek all the way up Death Mountain to Turtle Rock, it's likely because of an item density play, and if you're going to keep going with item density plays, Swamp Palace is definitely the call.
Not only that, it's the last dungeon he has to do outside of Misery Mire, so...
Yep.
Hey, there's the silvers!
Nice!
Checkerboard, Jake.
Which means that our other runners are not likely to be picking those up.
That's true. Mikan might.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And it depends on what Sir Beater of Ars does at this point. He still does not have bombos either. That cane dash in the last room there and Turtle Rock. Gold sword, half magic. Be a very quick Phoenix fight. Looked like he was trying to dash behind for a zero cycle there, but got hit. One spin for 2 hits and 1 more hit, and that'll do it. The Trinix down on Cransoon. King Helmelslor down, Sir Beater of Ars' side.
Yep, and Argus very shortly to be down. Oh. I'm not quite sure if Mikan meant to have the fire rod there for the usual NMG 1 cycle. Argus had the lamp instead.
Yeah. Probably just didn't feel like menuing again.
Yeah, two gold sword spins that Mikan pulled off. Took him out.
And Cransoon is indeed making that Swamp Palace play, so once he gets his flute, he will be in go mode.
Yep, he will get to do the Godmire. So often when you get the big key in that Godmire location, you're still not in go mode. You have to clear the dungeon anyway, but Cransoon will be able to head straight to Vitreous.
Goose number 2. Very likely Mikan gets the silver share.
Yeah, Chad is observing, quite rightly, that with the Butter Sword, Cransoon doesn't need the silvers. In fact, I bet even if you told Cransoon where the silver arrows were, which you shouldn't do, because that would be cheating, but even if Cransoon knew where the silver arrows were, it probably wouldn't even be worth his time to go pick them up.
I think it would be a time save barely. The silverless Ganon does take quite a bit of time, but just with the whole going up there, get them mirroring to it, mirroring back. Yep. As his flute, he is done picking up items. He does not care where the silvers might be.
Absolutely. Might still check, maybe not. Sometimes you'll see runners check the easy chests right on the way. We'll see when Cransoon gets to the waterfall room. That's a check that costs like 2 seconds. We'll see if Cransoon opts for that.
Oh, we're getting a Pyramid Fairy check.
Yep.
Which
we know.
Can't have anything. But...
Yeah, it's not going to be anything. It could be like, what, the Mirror Shield? That's like the only thing that might be somewhat important.
Maybe he'll get... Oh wait, we already have 4 bottles, so I was about to say maybe we'll get the 4th bottle.
Yeah, we got a quiver expansion and a little bit of money.
Gold sword. Look how fast this boss is going down. Just have to hold the sword out and hookshot all those little puffs, and Argus just melts.
And a beautiful second phase there. 2 fire rod shots and a spin attack. Takes out Argus. So indeed, DKS-89 is going to be heading to Turtle Rock, and this will just compound the time sink. DKS-89, the only one of our featured runners not to know where the ice rod is, sitting on the pedestal. Cransoon activating the flute. So on Cransoon's screen, the bird is unheard. Cransoon is also setting up the spooky action glitch. I didn't actually catch if DKS-89 actually did the spooky action glitch. Did you see that, Cyclone?
I did not see it.
DKS went straight to Vitreous, so he would have had to do it at a different point, I think, in order to. I don't know. We'll see Cransoon.
I remember him completing the dungeon and going back in, but that's it.
Yeah, the spooky action glitch is necessary if you hit or it makes it easier to hit the crystal switch because it allows you to do it from the other room without actually traveling through. It manipulates the altitude coordinate of the fire rod shot to trick the game into thinking that the fire rod shot is hitting the crystal switch in the room above you when it's really not.
It's spooky.
It is quite spooky.
And Cransoon, having full health, using the sword beams, take care of that first wizard room very quickly. Oh,
Oh boy.
this is a long hover. And
Yes!
he gets it.
The godliest of Godmires, with the big key on the bridge and the hover.
Chad is having a lot of fun with these bird puns.
I have learned that puns are other than Randomizer, puns are the pastime of Randomizer. I think Cransoon did the spooky action glitch there unintentionally. Did it through muscle memory and just raised the blocks in front of himself.
Yeah, it didn't seem to activate there, so. I don't know if it gets canceled out. I don't know much about the glitch other than it's spooky.
Well, in the NMG run, you have to hit the switch on the way to picking up the big key, because the big key is in that room after the cutscene.
Right.
But since Cransoon never had to go there, he never flipped the switch in the first place, and so by pulling off the glitch, he locked him in front of himself, I believe. And these are also some NMG strats, just walking into the goo. Take damage from the goo, and the eyeballs don't hurt you.
Pitcher's down, cold stare at the top left. Locks him into the corner. That is a clean fight.
Beautiful gold sword fight there.
I am Merc jumping the gun there and won't let me say anything. So we have all 7 crystals. I believe you know what time it is.
I do know what time it is. It's time to play a little game. There are 22 locations in Ganon's Tower where the big key can be located. We're not going to run the bot for the game because that's a tournament-only thing, but you are more than welcome to toss your guesses in chat. And if you guess correctly, then great. Congratulations. You have a favorite location, Cyclone?
I don't really have a favorite location per se. My favorite number is 11, so I'm gonna go with 11.
You know, Cyclone, the other Cyclone also likes 11. I believe that's the other... Both of our Cyclones, I believe, are fond of 11. I've had good luck with high double digits, things like 16 and 18. So I'm going to go with 18 today.
I tried telling the other Cyclone with the same person. He didn't believe me. Mika getting his pyramid check there, going to be severely disappointed.
Yep. So, in a pedestal seed with all dungeons completed, Cransoon is entering Ganon's Tower short of 90 minutes. That is an impressive display of routing and execution to be here under an hour and a half.
Let's see what we have. First chest, a heart piece. Second, 10 arrows. Heading over to the left side. Three is a bomb upgrade.
Our pal Bob gets to live today.
Number 4, small key. 5, big key. There it is, number 5.
Yep, Cransoon does not need anything else. Of course, you want to carry a small key up the tower with you, but Cransoon already has 2 of those, so He's going to leave those 2 other chests unchecked.
Unless he wants to look for silvers real quick, which I kind of doubt he will.
Yeah.
Mikon getting his ice rod. The master ice rod.
At this point, it's worth pointing out that according to our IRC channel, nobody's finished, so Kransoon could very well be our first place runner. We'll have to see. We'll let you know if somebody finishes before he does.
He's stepping into the gauntlet here. Good first room. The second room here gives me the most trouble.
Yeah, enemies jumping away from you is not fun.
And that was a very clean gauntlet.
Yeah, beautiful gauntlet there. And the 1 cycle on Landmo 2.
He's just blazing through this tower. Mikon, remember to go to Hookshot KFU, will get his bombos.
Yep.
And he's done.
Yep, that's all we needed. So,
did DKS, did he check the pedestal?
I don't think he did. I think he's coming straight here into Thieves Town. Hopefully, DKS will do a full clear through to blind.
Yeah. You could get that 4th item in the light room. Hopefully he doesn't leave at that point. I'd missed the Colster fight on Peter of Ars's screen.
Which probably indicates that it was a pretty well done fight if we didn't see it. Kransoon attempting and not completing a Moldorm 2 hover.
He's had like a 50% ratio thus far in the game, so you might as well go for it.
Yeah, he's gotten the hovers where it's really counted. That hover in Hookshot Cave saved us from another climb up Death Mountain. Though he did end up climbing up to do Turtle Rock as a double dip anyway, so that canceled out the hover. But the hover is still great anyway.
Heading into Agatu. Geometry Wizard, what do you have for us today? A right triangle.
Not a particularly great pattern. A right triangle, a blue ball.
1.
I think so. Ugh, disgusting patterns.
Zero, 1, 1, 1. That's a 2.
Another right triangle.
Jeez. Able to land one that time, finishes him off.
So we're going to be seeing Silverless Ganon on Kransoon's side. The battle will start off like you're familiar with and will diverge in the final phase. Kransoon will have to put 12 spin attacks onto Ganon just as Ganon starts to teleport around the room.
Yeah, but I don't think health here is a particular issue for him. He's got red mail. I believe he has a blue potion.
Yeah, I don't anticipate Kransoon having much difficulty here. With the gold sword, it's 6 slashes to get through phase 1 and 6 slashes to get through phase 2. And Kransoon is showing us some dash strats.
Sir Peter Varus getting his ice rod.
It looks like DKS-89 dipped out of Thieves' Town without finishing that dungeon.
No.
So that is not a good thing for DKS-89. Alright, so Kransoon gets a first free hit in on Ganon, spins him just as this phase begins, gets the torch glitch.
The biggest danger to him right now is getting hit by a fire bat and getting knocked off.
Yeah, he turns Ganon blue there and wastes a little bit of time. Now with this setup, he should be able to get 3 before lighting the torch again. That's the second. And that's the third. Excellent. You want to light that torch just before Ganon solidifies to hit you with a bat.
There it is. He is done.
Kransoon is done. We do have to report, however, that just before Kransoon finished, we had a first place finish from Runner Watcher. Runner Watcher finished in first with an official speedruns live time of 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 7 seconds. Kransoon finished 7 seconds later with a time of 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 16 seconds.
9-second difference between the two.
Oh, did I say 7? I meant 9. There we go. Math is hard. Kransoon is going to be joining us for an interview. He's going to take a minute and cool down after that amazing performance. Yeah, I can't do math. I was a math major in college, which means I can't do arithmetic. You ask me about vector spaces, I'll be fine, but arithmetic is hard.
We have a third place finish from Income with a time of 1:38:36. Or Ink None. That looks like DKS will be finishing Ice Palace, which is good for him. Silver arrows on Vitreous, making very, very quick work of him.
Yep, Mikan, the first of our featured runners to show us how easily those silver arrows tear through Vitreous.
And that gives him access to Ganon's Tower. Universe going back to Turtle Rock to finish that off. I did not see if he got his bombos yet, though.
Not on the tracker, so don't know.
It seems that our first place finisher, Runner Watcher, did end up getting the silver arrows.
And Cransoon is in our setup room. I'll go in and see if he's good to go.
We have a 5th place finish from Gloin with a time of 1:41.08. Oh, and I missed Ninban with 4th place, 1:40.24. Looks like they're still getting Cransoon set up for the interview.
All right, Cransoon's handling the mic. We will get him shortly. So Mekon, the second of our featured runners into Ganon's tower, is going to be getting the big key right here.
Beater Rush doing Trinex. Looks like he's going to have a very clean fight here. Gold Sword, half magic, very easy fight. We have a 6th place finish from Hichian 1337 with a time of 1:42.59, improving their personal best by 2:56. Though, when's the last time anybody's played a casual?
That's true. Yeah, if you've joined us in the middle of the race, this seed was set up as a casual, which means that Uncle gave us a guaranteed sword, and we did the escape. And it looks like we've got Cransoon. You got your mic working?
Kind of. I'm using my webcam because for some reason Windows or Discord is being a butt and just not hearing my microphone. So sorry if there's a bunch of background noise.
No worries. Discord does that. GG on your race.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Kind of wish I had finished about 10 seconds faster or something. But other than that, I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, we saw in IRC that you started to have a little bit of a discussion about not having the silvers. Our first place runner watcher did have the silvers. Have you figured out yet where the silvers were, Cransoon?
No, I have not.
The silver arrows are in Checkerboard Cave.
Oh, okay. I was wondering whether silvers were gonna bite me. I was really hoping, because of just how few locations I had left before, finishing, before basically full clearing the entire game going into GT, I was basically hoping that I would just see, did you find the arrows in my tower? Because then I know that unless it was in Stalfo's room, nobody got them. But it ends up that it did make the difference, and I had the ability to win still, but I definitely lost more than 9 seconds in that phase 4. That was an absolutely terrible phase 4 for Silverless.
Yeah. And there's also the Moldworm 2 fall.
Yeah, that too. I allotted myself one fall, one attempt. I said, I'll try this once. If I fall, I'm not doing it again.
Yep, and the hovers actually helped you out significantly earlier on with that bombos.
Yeah,
Hookshot gave.
I wasn't sure whether that was going to make a difference. With the routing that I did, it wouldn't have made a difference because I did TR before Swamp. But that was actually, honestly, that was my very first, very first decision in that seed that I felt was difficult to make. Was choosing between going Swamp or going TR.
Yeah, I was personally hoping you would go to Swamp because we had already seen the flute picked up from there.
Okay, yeah.
And that would have clearly led you over to Misery Mire after that, and then up to Total Rock.
Yeah, true. So that would have been best for me in the situation. But at the same time, I probably would have ended the run with Master Sword, maybe
Exactly.
Tempered. So that was when I found the sword upgrades, I was like, okay, at least now I have that advantage over some people. And also, like the delta between a full clear Turtle Rock and a full clear Swamp Palace is like night and day. Like Turtle Rock, you lose, I don't know, like a minute-ish, maybe, like depending between a God TR and full clear TR, you lose like maybe a minute or something. But between Swamp, like full clear and Go Mode Swamp, it's like 3 minutes plus or something. It's insane.
Yeah, and chat wants me to bring up. How did you feel about the God Mire and the hover?
I was so happy. Oh my god. I was honestly, like, despite the Moldorm 2 fall really kind of costing me the race, I was really happy with my hovers throughout the run. Like, I definitely felt pretty good about that.
Yeah, we were all just totally pumped to see that.
Yeah, that was another one of those situations where, like Moldorm 2, I was going to allow myself one shot. If I had fallen there, I was just going to walk around. That's just usually how I go about it.
Makes sense. You were the first of our featured runners to check the pedestal. In fact, I don't even know, has DKS89 actually checked the pedestal at this point?
I don't think he has, but he has all the pendants now, so...
So we'll probably see a blind pull there. Any thoughts on that pedestal pull, Gransoon?
Well, it made me super, super, super happy with the way I routed. Because my initial thought, like okay, so I lied about the Turtle Rock Swamp Palace choice. Going between Hera and Dark World was the first and probably the only other difficult choice for me. Because, you know, I didn't have Hammer at the time, I didn't have Hookshot. So I was going to be able to go get the 2 items at Hera and that was it. But if Thieves Town was Crystal or something, you know, and I had Mirror at the time, so all that Overworld was available plus mitts. So I was like, I don't know. And then I saw Hammer and I was like, okay, this is great. And then I saw Fire Rod and was like, okay, this is really great. And then because of that routing, I had, you know, I went and did Mothula and checked Pedestal immediately after. I was like, okay, this is like the best possible routing. Like some TGH God Vision right there.
Mikon just took a fall on Ganon. It should be noted, he does have the silver arrow, so that fight would have been over in just probably 30 more seconds.
Yeah, Mikon took a fall a little bit after DKS89 blind pulled that ice rod.
Yeah. And that does put him in go mode. He has everything down. Everything is complete other than Turtle Rock. Yeah, but you were talking about the routing. It seemed like everything just kept going your way. You know, you have the bow early, you go over to Eastern, you get the book, you go over to Desert, you get the mirror, you go to Hera, you get the hammer and the fire rod. It's just one thing kept leading to another.
Yeah, definitely. Like, this was the epitome of following the breadcrumbs, basically. Like, I just saw, you know, I got lamp and bow and I was like, okay, I'll do Eastern. And then I had I had gotten Mirror somewhere. I don't even remember.
Mirror
And
was
so
on Desert Ledge.
Desert Ledge. That's right. And then I got Book, so I was like, okay, I'll go to Desert. And so then I got Mirror, so I was like, okay, I'll go to Hera. Got Hammer and Fire Rod, and I was like, okay, I'll go to Skull Woods. And then I saw that, once I saw that Ice Rod was on pedestal, my routing was completely clear to me. I just basically worked my way, doing every single dungeon in a counterclockwise motion, and actually something that I really liked that I was really happy I actually thought of was like the order of Ice Palace and Palace of Darkness was like super intentional because I was able to grab the green pendant, mirror out, and just walk right up to turn it into Sahasrara on the way to Pod. It just overall felt really, really clean in terms of routing.
Yep, and Mikan does finish. He placed 13th with a time of 1:50:54. It looks like we're getting him in here right now.
We are joined by Mikan. GG.
Mikan, your mic is muted. If
You're
not
right, it
aware.
is.
There we
Hi.
go.
Hi there.
Congratulations, getting 13th place.
Yeah, wonderful. Hooray. Yay.
Yeah, I imagine that Ganon fall probably didn't feel good.
No, not at all. I was going to get sub 150. I haven't had a time over 150 in like months. It's actually really awful. I was really angry when I found the hammer, to be honest with you. If I had a hammer, routing through the western to southern Darkhold would have been so much better. Not to mention I also found the shovel up there as well, which I could have done in, so I wasn't feeling too hot about that.
Yep. You were of our featured runners. Only Cransoon really learned about that ice rod pretty early. You and Sir Beater were very similar. You found out relatively late. What did you think when you saw on the cold rod?
I do want to also say, since I forgot about that, finding the fire rod. If I had gone up to Death Mountain to get the fire rod, I would have known about that ice rod so much earlier.
That is true. Yeah, you would have done your pedestal check right after Mothula.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why not going to Death Mountain was such a killer for me. I would have routed completely differently had I had actually gone up there first. It wasn't just the hammer; it was also the fire rod and crap like that.
Yeah, that's basically what Cransoon was telling us. Just that the way the seed ended up playing out for him, that just if you played it the right way, you got God routing.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
he did all 3 Light World dungeons and then just did a counterclockwise motion around the Dark World. That was his route.
yeah, it seemed like super simple if you had, just gone up to Death Mountain right away, I guess. I don't care to have something on the pedestal. I was nice. No, I was fine finding it, because, I mean, that's a lot better than not knowing where it is, right? There was still, like, the flute and hookshot that could have been, like, anywhere for me, and then I was worried about Bombos as well, which, that figures. Of course, I have to go find Bombos as well, but at least by then my scope of things I needed to go check was pretty small.
Yep, and one of the other featured runners, DKS, actually went in the Dark World before even going to Hera, or before even going to Desert. So he never checked pedestal.
Ew.
He ended up blind pulling it.
Nice.
Oh yeah, that I could definitely see that completely killing with this seed. There are some seeds where you want, the earlier you go into Dark World, the faster you find the value, and this was not that seed, even a little bit.
Yeah, because that leaves him without the mirror, which kept biting him, without the hammer, which kept biting him.
Yeah, doing the smart thing of going to Death Mountain first was everything. It really was. I think I had mitts at the time, so I was really hoping to put it off. I think I had
Mitts were really early. They were in Mini Moldorm and
Yeah.
in Eastern.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure I was just putting it off in hopes of finding the hook or the hammer before going up there. But of course it was there, which would have changed everything. It really would have, I feel. I also played like a chump too, so that didn't help. Ganon 2 was a big butthead.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah, how'd you like those angles?
I honestly just wanted to mirror.
It was
so I could
geometry
get other
class with Aganim. Just all of these triangles, dude. It was so bad. I definitely think that is the worst like Aga 2 I've had. I lost track of the cycles. Was that like 7 or 8 or something?
I think you
I'd rather
were
not relive it.
0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1. I think that was yours, Cranston.
God sakes. Oof. Capital OOF. Jeez, man.
Alright, so we got Sir Beater of Arse going into the Ganon fight. DKS finishing up his gauntlet.
Yeah, really impressive overall. How many very quick times we've seen for a seed that was all dungeons. We've already seen 17 finishers in under 2 hours. So
18 now.
there we go. And Sir Beater might make it in just under 2 hours too. He's got the silvers, so.
Yeah, I definitely... That seed, I feel, could have just gone one of two ways. Like, either you knew about the ped early, and you just, like, routed everything super, like, crisp, or you didn't, and it, like, I can't imagine. It seems like without that ped knowledge, this seed would have been just a nightmare.
Yeah, like, DKS, he didn't know, for instance, he went into Thieves Town, got 4 items left.
Yep, I was actually just thinking when I went into Thieves Town, like generally speaking, one of my rules with Pendant Thieves is like, it depends on how I feel, but a lot of times if I get 3 items in the first 4 chests, and I have the mirror or a quick death warp, I'll just do that and leave. So I was like, man, if I didn't know that Ice Rod was ped, I would have gotten 3 items and peaced out. Like, guaranteed, so...
Yeah, all the
Sir
items
Beater
in
of Arse,
Thieves Town were early, right?
Sir Beater of Arse does finish 19th place with a time of 1:58.19.
And Sir Beater of Arse should be along just shortly for an interview.
DKS, for everything he's gone through, he's coming up pretty quickly. He's about to go into Aganim.
Yeah, he's gonna finish this seed just north of 2 hours, which is still a fantastic time to put out on a seed that looks like this.
Yeah, with the blind ped pull, like, being even close to 2 hours, honestly, isn't too bad.
There's that lovely right angle, the right triangle. Yeah, then he finally gives you something okay, and it's all blue ball. Just agging him. Ah, DK's getting a triple on that one.
We are joined by Sir Beater of Arse. GG.
GG, congratulations on your finish.
Thank you, GG to everybody. That was quite a seed there. I'm guessing my gamble to go to Turtle Rock so early was a really bad idea.
It wasn't actually as bad as you might think. because you get the 2 swords out of it. And even though you couldn't get bombos, you have to go back up there anyway to complete the dungeon.
Yeah, I felt like I did probably a little bit too much running around. I was thinking that I could just get the pendants and go get the ice rod and clean up there, but I was really hoping that it was going to be one of the 2 medallions I had before I hit the mire. I felt like I was actually in pretty good shape, even though I went to TR for basically nothing except swords.
Yeah, we were talking about it. If Cransoon had routed differently, he actually would have go-moded Turtle Rock and ended with Master Sword more than likely. So it is interesting to see, like, he ended up going up there before doing a different dungeon, so he actually got the swords, but curious to see how much time would have actually been saved going with Master Sword only.
Yeah, Temper definitely helps out in a bunch of places, so that would have probably made up a little bit for itself.
Yeah, was out of curiosity, was I the only one? Did anybody double dip Turtle Rock?
Yeah, I did.
Everyone.
Everyone.
Turtle Rock.
Okay, I was the only one. I was wondering because I save and quit out of Hookshot Cave, and as I save and quit, I just kind of looked at my items, saw that I had King of Samaria, Fire Rod, Quake, and Mirror and Mitts, and I was like, oh, I could have done Turtle Rock. Maybe I should have done that. I don't know. I'll just go do Skullwoods first.
Yeah, that was like my exact thought process, except I didn't have Hookshot yet.
Yeah, I didn't have Hookshot either. I ended up hovering for the first 2 chests and then couldn't quite get the 3rd chest.
The 3rd chest having a nickel in it.
Yeah.
So DKS does finish, where is his time? Finishes 25th place with a time of 2:01:34. Don't know if we're getting him in here or not. He has not responded to that.
So what was most people's trip up last item? Sounds like you hovered Cransoon, you hovered Hookshot Cave, so you had bombos pretty early. Was I the only one that was their go mode item?
Cransoon's go mode item was Flute. Like he went into Swamp. That was your last dungeon you could have checked.
Yeah, it was my last dungeon. It was my mentality there was I was gonna try and make everything like super clean and do Swamp, Fat Fairy, Pyramid, Catfish, Mushroom, Zora area, and Waterfall Fairy. And I knew that I would have to have Flute by then, and if I didn't, I could just go to Kakariko to get Magic Bat, because that was the only other place it could have been. So
I think Mikon also go-moded with Bombos, I think.
Yes, I did.
So just on your way, but I think both of you on your way back up to complete Turtle Rock got into go mode. It looks like DKS will be joining us in just a moment.
And we are now joined by the 4th of our featured runners, DKS89. GG.
Yeah, thank you.
So, how did you feel about that run?
It's just the worst item in the game. That's really all I have to say about it. It's just the worst item in the game.
Yeah, you were the only one of our featured runners not to make a pedestal check, so you ended up with that blind pull. I think you probably realize that's that kind of contributed to the length of the seed on your part.
Yeah. Like, the way my routing worked out is I did Skull Woods before Desert, so I was never going to check pedestal, like, ever. So if it was there, it's gonna screw me no matter what. So, I mean, that's the way it works. That's rando. I don't feel too bad.
Yeah, you shouldn't feel bad at all. You managed to finish just north of 2 hours on an old dungeon seed. Quite a rough seed for a lot of people. So that's definitely something that you shouldn't feel bad about.
Yeah, I was saying earlier that felt like 1 or 2 tiny decisions was the difference between this seed being pretty good and being absolutely awful. It was like, you know, Desert and Hera before Skull Woods basically was that difference. Like, if you didn't do Desert and Hera before Skull Woods, then I could have seen this seed just being not fun at all.
This is my sequence break really to Pod. Getting Hookshot made me go Death Mountain, and then you get Fire Rod, and then you go to Skull Woods. And so if I didn't sequence break Pod, I'd probably go to Desert before all of that, and then there you go. It's a much easier seed. Maybe Hookshot trolls me later on, but not to the extent of Ice Rod.
How did you sequence break Pod? Was that the Water Walk? From
Yeah,
Skull
Water
Woods?
Walk.
Okay. I still need to learn that one of these days.
Yeah, he made his way over to Pod really early and got that hook shot.
Yeah, DKS was the first of our featured runners into the Dark World, making use of the mitts to do that.
Yeah, I think I did the 3 Light World dungeons in vanilla order and then went right to Turtle Rock because I'm a genius.
I mean, it wasn't a bad decision. You didn't know you needed the Ice Rod at that time. Or that it wasn't going to be in there, rather.
Yeah, I was just counting on having the stuff to get in there that early. I figured that Ice Rod wouldn't be in there, but I figured there was going to be the flute or just something trolly going to be in there, and I was trying to out-troll the game.
Yeah, I'm definitely... It's very rare that I'm ever going to say going into Turtle Rock without Ice Rod is like a bad play, you know, because there's so much potential there, especially if you do have mirror. That's 6 items, and if you have really early access to it, like it's, you know, it's like I said with the seed, it was just follow the breadcrumbs, and the breadcrumbs were definitely pointing in that direction just as much as anything else.
Yeah, that was basically where the main split between Cransoon and Mikan and Beater of Ars was Mikan and Beater of Ars, you went to Turtle Rock, and Cransoon went to Skull Woods, and was able to just circle around the Dark World and complete everything.
It was the objectively wrong play. I just had so much other stuff I could do, especially since I had the Fire Rod. I'm just dumb like that, I guess. Who knows? It could have been anything. It could have been something. Those 3 fetch quest items I found could have all led to the Ice Rod.
Yeah, there were a lot of fetch quest items up there.
That would have been really nice.
Both the mushroom and the powder were in Turtle Rock, and then I also still had the shovel that I hadn't checked out quite yet either.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Shovel was
same.
right next door in Super Bunny Cave.
$169 of $216. That's pretty solid.
Cransoon got a 154, which is pretty low, all things considered.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually curious if Runner Watcher is still in the chat. I'm curious what Runner Watcher's item count was.
It sounds like he got silvers. He had all
Yeah.
4 swords.
Yeah, so I imagine it's probably going to end up being higher, actually.
I don't know how many runners we had total, but we have 31 people have finished so far. Karn finishing 31st there.
It was at least 40, probably a little bit over.
So 47.
47.
A lot
Pretty
of
good
it.
turnout considering we just announced we were starting these back up 2 days ago. 1 day ago? A day and a half ago?
Yeah, the first daily races started up yesterday in this new session. So, which is a good time to mention that if you are watching and you're interested in getting involved in Link to the Past Randomizer, these daily races are a great way to do it. They're open to anybody of any skill level, and you can get more information on them by typing... it's in chat already, but if you type !daily, you'll see the info. You'll see information about our Discord, and it's really a great thing to get involved in. We're a very newcomer-friendly community. So we've got the four of you here. Do any of you have any final words you want to say about this seed?
Yeah, I hate Ice Rod.
Fair enough. Anyone else?
It's a nice seed you got there. It'd be a shame if somebody put Ice Rod on the pedestal.
Spooky action glitch with Godmire, not like this.
Yes, we did see. We did see
saw
that.
I was so sad because I was like, man, this is great. I got the hover, I got spooky action, this is great. And then I walk in, eggs are up. I'm like, wait, no.
Yeah, well. Alrighty then. If no one else has anything to say, I'll say a few things. Our trackers today have been Merc249 and D2 Kemp, so let's give